we're live from the Salesforce Incubator. CRM Science was selected as the mentor for the Incubees this year, this cohort, which is focused on the AI, a lot of applications with AI. And today we're going to have a guest from Joonko. This is Guy. And we're going to have these talks every Friday at 11 o'clock Pacific. So join us every week. So Guy, tell me about Joonko and why you're here in the incubator, what you're planning to achieve.
All right. Thanks, Ami, for having me.
Sure.
So what Joonko does is we're an AI-powered diversity coach. And that means that we integrate to other companies' platforms like Salesforce, and we help them identify bias against women and minorities that manifests in their data. So for example, it will be how you distribute accounts across salespeople. And we want to be able to show and help companies find that places where the hidden bias against women and minorities comes into effect in their day-to-day activities. Now, we're an AI company. We've built a lot of machine learning models in order to help us identify those problems and patterns. And the reason we came here to Salesforce is we want to be able to leverage this opportunity to get better insights into how Salesforce works as a system, access to different APIs and tools that Salesforce offers, and also to be able to be better integrated into this entire ecosystem of Salesforce apps, the AppExchange, the companies who use it, et cetera, et cetera.
Cool. So I think that let's do a quick recap of the week. We had Jillian Bruce in here. She talked to us about the awesome admin concept. Basically, the fact that Salesforce is really promoting really heavily the admin track because the admin is a really critical aspect of managing the Salesforce environment. Obviously, there's in most cases it's not out of the box solution. You have to do things about it. Did you identify the admin as a useful or someone that you need to attract? Are there other users that you're targeting?
Yeah, so we look at admin specifically as a two-faced customer of ours. Our main solution focus every employee in the company, be the sales team manager, sales people, HR personnel, whomever. And under that umbrella, the admin comes into play as a person who works in the company and we want to help him or her. Specifically, we need the admin's help because when we integrate into such a complex system, it takes time to understand and build or adjust our models in order to better suit and cater to the company's needs. So the admin is a very useful function there. Plus, there's a lot of things regarding security and authorizations and being able to integrate into that system where admin plays a critical part.
Right. The admin is both a user and really the first interface from your app.
The person who facilitates this entire integration.
Exactly. Yeah, so just like Jillian said, it's a critical part of who you need to target. We also had office hours with Ravi, who's our TE from the AppExchange team, and I think one of the common theme that came out of that is a lot of confusion as to how do you develop. And it's just getting used to the Salesforce ecosystem and how to work with it. I know that I've drawn it on the board for you, and I've done it the same for a few other companies. But actually, Ravi also had a slide that was very similar. What are you trying to build right now? How is it going to look? And where are you in the process?
Yeah, so Salesforce offers integration at different levels, starting from REST APIs to integrated code like Apex, et cetera, et cetera. And currently now when clients join Joonko and register, we do it through an outside system, and we want to be able to be showcased on the AppExchange. So we're trying to build an app that helps us integrate into your Salesforce environment much more easily than what we have now. I think both you and Ravi were super helpful in getting us to understand this massive ecosystem, even understanding the jargon and the buzzwords that go around takes time and getting used to, especially since the process to become a partner has several phases and it's not something very trivial. So I think that was what we needed help the most, and we got it.
Yeah, and there's definitely the two tracks. There's a business track where you kind of have to tell Salesforce what you're about and about your company, and then the technical track of creating the partner community, your sales org, your packaging org, and so forth. And there's having to open tickets and things like that.
Yeah, and well, I'm the CTO, so my focus is mainly on the technology side, but I'm also trying to help my co-founders working through the business side of things. And since it's our first time trying to integrate or launching an app in Salesforce, I think that there were quite a few barriers that we had to surpass along the way. And being able to take the app that you currently have and fit it into something that Salesforce can showcase in their AppExchange was quite a process for us. But once you get into things, everything starts to clear up really, really fast. Just has to get used to things working a little bit differently.
Yeah, there's definitely different keyword, buzzword, and so forth that you have to deal with. One of the things that I kind of noticed this week is that there's several companies here that deal with, in the incubator, that deal with bias, diversity, inclusion. And given that this incubator is focused on AI, do you think that AI is kind of getting us to the point where it's actually feasible to identify those patterns and act on them?
Yeah, so personally, I'm thinking that AI is a tool that will be as good as how well you use it and the type of data it receives. AI, or specifically machine learning, is a field that exists for quite a long time, so as far as the early 70s. And we've come a long way around past years because of cloud computing and computation power exponentially growing. So we're much more suited to deploy those solutions in the diversity space. And I think AI was the missing piece in this diversity puzzle, because until now, people took offline solutions and tried to make them online, but they were never data-driven. They were always manually managed.
Process-driven, perhaps.
Well, I'm not sure. I think that people looked at what they used until now, which is sort of, online sessions or one-time coaching, and tried to make it something a little bit more accessible to people, but still making it understandable in their day-to-day environment was too difficult, and there was nothing to facilitate that transition. So AI comes into play here because we're able to give real-time insights and real-time actions and and coaching to people, which is something that you couldn't do before.
Interesting. So, your application is, and I assume some others, not only identify the bias, but also make it actionable.
Yeah, that's, I think, the most important part, because we believe that people don't want to be biased. People are good in nature, and those biases are unconscious, and it's okay, it's natural. Everybody has biases. The thing is that you need to be mindful of those and don't let them affect your day-to-day activities as much. And being able to recognize in real time, we also offer the way to close that circle and fix the issue. So it would be recommendations on which opportunities or leads to give to different salespeople in order to mitigate their bias, or being able to encourage women and minorities to publicize the work in the company to build their own reputation. You have a triangle that says company culture, managers, and employees, and we try to touch each one of the tips of that triangle.
That's interesting. So I mean, actually, Salesforce is quite, I guess, in the forefront of diversity.
Yep.
So I think that that's probably one of the reasons why there are a few companies who are dealing with this here. Actually, interestingly enough, there's different countries represented here in the incubator, and you're from Israel, and there's you can walk across the incubator and within a minute hear English, Hebrew, French, German.
Yeah.
Do you feel that's creates more, or is that a more collaborative environment? Do you feel like the incubator kind of gives you better perspective?
Yeah, so I believe that diversity is not really a goal, it's a tool that you have to use, and I see Salesforce in the forefront of implementing that tool. And once you start using that tool, it becomes much, much easier to achieve the other goals that you want. So definitely the fact that we have diverse companies here is helpful. You get to see a lot of opinions, and your interactions are different than when you would have in a more homogeneous cohort. And I think that the fact that all the companies come from different backgrounds and try to touch different problems actually helps us all improve our solutions, because it gives you ideas about stuff that you wouldn't otherwise think. I remember just last week, we had a bug that I was working really hard to solve, and just something that I heard another company talk about gave me a different perspective on the problem, and the solution just came right at hand.
Yeah, potentially different backgrounds, from different countries, different ways of thinking about diversity as just a way to help you create solutions.
Yeah. It's been proven for a long time that diversity brings good, or should I say better, business results. And once you start thinking about it, you see it a lot more often, and you see how it can help you.
Yeah. Definitely. So I think that's about it for today. We're doing these every week on Friday at 11 o'clock Pacific to Eastern. Every week we're going to have a great guest like Guy was here from Joonko. And we'll see you next week. See ya.